What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Johnny. Back here with another reaction video. And today, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. This is one of my all-time favorite books. I'm not sure if a lot of people have read it. If not, I'm here to bless you with it. The Science of Being Great, written by Wallace D. Wattles, originally published in 1910. And I just want to play a little bit of chapter 2 and just enlighten the world on what they was talking about back in 1910. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. You know, the goal is to reach 1 million subscribers, but if we can reach 100 million people and start 100 million thought-provoking conversations, we kill the narratives in today's world. We're just spirits encased in human flesh, trying to figure out this thing called life. So if you like what you hear in this video, please share it far and wide. Now we're going to start at chapter 2 of The Science of Being Great.
Chapter 2: Heredity and Opportunity. You are not barred from attaining greatness from heredity. No matter who or what your ancestors may have been, or how unlearned or lowly their station, the upward way is open for you. There is no such thing as inheriting a fixed mental position. No matter how small the mental capital we receive from our parents, it may be increased.
Really?
No man is born incapable of growth. Heredity counts for something. We are born with subconscious mental tendencies, as for instance, a tendency to melancholy, or cowardice, or to ill temper. But all these subconscious tendencies may be overcome. When the real man awakens and comes forth, he can throw them off very easily. Nothing of this kind need keep you down. If you have inherited undesirable mental tendencies, you can eliminate them and put desirable tendencies in their places.
1910.
An inherited mental trait is a habit of thought of your father or mother impressed upon your subconscious mind. You can substitute the opposite impression by forming the opposite habit of thought. You can substitute a habit of cheerfulness for a tendency to despondency. You can overcome cowardice or ill temper. Heredity may count for something too, in an inherited conformation of the skull. There is something in phrenology, if not as much as its exponents claim. It is true that the different faculties are localized in the brain, and that the power of a faculty depends on the number of active brain cells in its area. A faculty whose brain area is large is likely to act with more power than one whose cranial section is small. Hence, persons with certain conformations of the skull show talent as musicians, orators, mechanics, and so on. It has been argued from this that a man's cranial formation must, to a great extent, decide his station in life, but this is an error. It has been found that a small brain section, with many fine and active cells, gives as powerful expression to faculty as a larger brain with coarser cells, and it has been found that by turning the principle of power into any section of the brain, with the will and purpose to develop a particular talent, the brain cells may be multiplied indefinitely. Any faculty, power, or talent you possess, no matter how small or rudimentary, may be increased. You can multiply the brain cells in this particular area until it acts as powerfully as you wish. It is true that you can act most easily through those faculties that are now most largely developed. You can do with the least effort the things which come naturally. But it is also true that if you will make the necessary effort, you can develop any talent. You can do what you desire to do.
You can develop any talent. This is 1910. I don't hear about oppression. I don't hear about I can't do this because I'm black. This is 1910. When I say we've been bamboozled like a fool, knowledge is in these books. Every book that I've read, really from about 1940 to beyond, they all talk about things like this. It's The Science of Being Great, The Science of Being Rich, As a Man Thinketh by James Allen, Self-Reliance by Ralph Waldo Emerson. They all highlight that you can awaken the spirit inside of you, and that you can get the higher self and the lower self aligned and change the world, that your thoughts create your reality. But here we are assuming that we're oppressed, and I'm a firm believer that what you speak out your mouth you manifest into your reality. And the media is tricking everyone into saying Black Lives Matter and white supremacy, and that's what you're manifesting on Earth, man. Change the way you talk, change the way you think, and you change your reality.
And become what you want to be. When you fix upon some ideal and proceed as hereinafter directed, all the power of your being is turned into the faculties required in the realization of that ideal. More blood and nerve force go to the corresponding sections of the brain, and the cells are quickened, increased, and multiplied in number. The proper use of the mind of man will build a brain capable of doing what the mind wants to do. The brain does not make the man makes the brain.
Mic drop.
Your place in life is not fixed by heredity.
Your place in life is not fixed by heredity. You hear that? That's from 1910. So don't let anyone convince you that you can't do something because you're black, that you're a toxic white male, that you can't do something because you're a woman. Don't accept the world's limitations. Stop letting people put labels on you. Live up to what you believe is the right thing for yourself. And I saw this quote today, and it was pretty dope. And it said, you'll never be able to rise above the group you're trying to fit in. Why would they? You can't go no higher than them. So you keep forcing yourself into whatever group you want to, and then you stuck in that group. And if you leave, then they're going to call you a sellout and throw stones at you. Listen to the voice inside of you. Stay truthful to who you are and what you can be, and watch the world manifest abundance.
Nor are you condemned to the lower levels by circumstance or lack of opportunity. The principle of power in man is sufficient for all the requirements of his soul. No possible combination of circumstances can keep him down if he makes his personal attitude right and determines to rise. The power, which formed man and proposed him for growth, also controls the circumstances of society, industry, and government, and the power is never divided against itself. The power which is in you is in the things around you, and when you begin to move forward, the things will arrange themselves for your advantage, as described in later chapters in this book.
Albert Einstein said that.
Man was formed for growth, and all things external were designed to promote his growth. No sooner does a man awaken his soul and enter on the advancing way than he finds that not only is God for him, but nature, society, and his fellow men are for him also. And all things work together for his good if he obeys the law.
Cooperation.
Poverty is no bar to greatness, for poverty can always be removed. Martin Luther, as a child, sang in the streets for bread. Linnaeus, the naturalist, had only $40 with which to educate himself. He mended his own shoes and often had to beg meals from his friends. Hugh Miller, apprenticed to a stonemason, began to study geology in a quarry. George Stephenson, inventor of the locomotive engine and one of the greatest of civil engineers, was a coal miner working in a mine when he awakened and began to think. James Watt was a sickly child and was not strong enough to be sent to school.
Dropping gems.
Abraham Lincoln was a poor boy. In each of these cases, we see a principle of power in the man that lifts him above all opposition and adversity. There is a principle of power in you. If you use
There's a principle of power within you. You just heard all them names that he just dropped. All men who rose above poverty. So that kills the narrative that every white person comes from riches. Abraham Lincoln wasn't born rich. Whatever you want to be, you can accomplish. I'll link the full description to this book, the audio book below, and then I'll link a description where you can purchase it on Amazon. But knowledge is power, man. Check out these books. You'd be surprised what you find. We're all being brainwashed. We're all being manipulated by the mainstream media. But if you open your mind and look inside yourself and seek wisdom, you'll unlock everything, man, I promise. Keep reading, keep growing. And the more you speak your truth, you'll unconsciously motivate others to speak theirs as well. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Till next time, we out. Peace.